for the warm welcome. So, as the topic, as in the sixth international conference, the topic of the conference is the relevance of mental health for the self, nature, consciousness, and global challenges. So, I thought it would be better to take a holistic view instead of taking any particular. So, in brief, I will be discussing about the holistic view. So, in my topic, the topic which I have taken is mental health, well being, and self realization in the changing world. So, next slide, please. So, in this journey, we'll be discussing about the introduction, about the foundations, about the core pillars. What are the core pillars in mental health? Then, what are the factors? Because some are the external factors, some are internal factors. So, what are the external factors which affect our mental health and the challenges which we are facing? Then, the pathways, how we can move forward, and then we'll be concluding with it. So, we'll be moving to the so here it is next slide, please. So here, when we'll be discussing here, we'll be discussing about the self-realization that in the holistic view, why we are discussing about holistic view, or why I have put this point of holistic view, because I feel that we are living in a time of paradox nowadays. It's a changing world. So on the one hand, when we are seeing that science and technology have advanced so much, they have advanced so much further than ever before. So we cannot we can connect with everyone now. All the globe has come together, and we can connect with anyone anywhere in seconds, and we do not take even much time. In seconds we are able to connect it, and we can also even able to access the knowledge. Once it was reserved to limited area only, but now each scholar, each researcher, each person can access whatever has been done around the world. So now, and yet on we this is also another point where I want to discuss about the holistic view, that the rate of nowadays anxiety, depression, and loneliness, now they are rising across the globe. They are increasing. Not we can say that it only this particular country it is increasing, but they are increasing across the globe. So, and we can also see that we have climate we see the climate anxiety in young people, burnout in working professionals, even in comparison. There's a more competition, comparison has increased, and self doubt has also been there. Is increasing more by the social media. So that's why the question arises, that how we should flourish as an individual or as in society in this time, this turbulent time, or this difficult time. It's a time of competition. So that's why I thought that it is a better that we should discuss about we should talk about the holistic view, because this is the correct time, and we are also doing mental health day is there, mental health week is there, and the topic of the conference is also regarding to this. So this is the best that we can discuss here, so that how we can integrate the ancient wisdom, then modern science, then even the global awareness, so that we can explore. We will be able to explore today in my session. So when we are coming here, we say there are three reasons which we are which are major, which when we discuss about the holistic view. Now these are, we can say that the first is interconnected crisis, because the more we have been interconnected, more because every coin has a positive pros and cons. So that's why, according to when we say the interconnectedness crisis of our time to the present time. Now, how it is a crisis, we can say, because mental health challenges are rising, not just because of the personal struggle, but also because of the climate change, because we are finding so much change in the climate. Then there is a change in the digital overload, because everything is digital, and due to digital transformation and digital techniques, I am sitting here, and you all are sitting here, and we are connected from across the world for this conference. Then we have the apart from this, we are also having global uncertainty, because we are not aware which what at globe what is happening, and what will be the effect at the other parts of the world also. For example, if we think about the teenagers, because we are, as I talk about myself, I have the middle of the age. So I have seen both before also, now also, and in the later also. So I have seen when the technology was not too advanced, but now it is too advanced, and after pandemic it has advanced a lot. And now also, but now we think of the teenagers because they are the future of our country, future of our society. Now what they are facing, they are navigating academic pressure, they have lot of academic pressure, then they have constant notifications, then they are worried about the future also, what will be their future, because the time of the competition has increased. So what happened, their mental health is not shaped in isolation, but it is in the web of, or in the area of ecological and social stressors. They have more stress, more pressure. Now, again, then another thing we can say about holistic view, that beyond treatment to thriving. Now, why it is so? That for a long time, whenever mental health was to be, the word used to come, it was a taboo. It was termed as a illness. People do not want to discuss it. But now the focus has come that how we treat depression, anxiety, trauma. But today, psychology, not only psychology, neuroscience, even traditional systems are old systems. They remind us that the main goal is not only to survive, not only to give a treatment, but to thrive, to face the world, to face the challenges, to cope with the challenges. So that's why we are saying beyond treatment to thriving. Thriving is not sufficient enough. We should be such that we should able to face each and every challenges. Then when we talk about the synthesis is we are bringing, beginning, we are starting to see the connection between the different worlds. Why different worlds? Vedic world, then modern neuroscience, then yoga, then cognitive behavior therapy, then indigenous healing techniques, then public policies. These all areas now have to come together. And when they will be coming together, they offer us a vision. What kind of a vision? That human flourishing that is more complete than any one tradition only. Nowadays, we are not giving any focus to anyone, but whole holistic view is very important. Whole overall growth is important, not only in a particular area. So here we can say that here the vision is, or the our future should be, the thought we should give to understand that how diverse approaches from Vedic wisdom to neuroscience contribute to the resilient and the fulfilled humanity. Now we'll be coming to the next slide, and in the next slide we'll be discussing about the next slide, please. We'll be discussing about the foundations. Now, what are the basic foundations when we are discussing about mental health? It is not only just about the absence of we are not focusing only about the absence of the illness, but what we want that as per the, when we talk of the mental health, WHO has said that mental health is a state of well-being in which individual realizes their ability, then they can cope, they should be able to cope with the normal stressors of life, and can work productively, and is able to contribute to their community. So that's why, so here we are not saying that not being sick, this is not that being sick, but it is about living fully. Not that treatment has been done and now we should forget. No, we should make such uh, efforts that the person should be able to cope up whole life, the challenges should be faced. So here we'll say there are some of the key pillars which we talk in regard to mental health. Now these key pillars are emotional regulation, then resilience, mindfulness, and then consciousness. So when we say emotional regulations means how we are able to manage our feelings wisely, because we all have feelings, we all have emotions, but how, at what time, correct time, when we are able to manage our emotions, where we have to show emotions, where we have to show our anger, what kind of response should be there, that is very important. Another thing is resilience. Resilience is nowadays we considered very important, and lot of research has been done previously also, now also people are focusing on it. So resilience is the ability to bounce back from the challenges, whatever challenges we have faced or the particular individual is facing, so that we make that person such resilient, such strong enough that that person can be able to face the challenge, bounce back to face those challenges. Then next we are saying mindfulness. Now mindfulness is now considered not only in Indian context, even across the globe. Now people are everywhere considering mindfulness as a very good and important, very important area of for mental health. Now in this we are saying, we what we do in mindfulness, in brief we can say, being present, aware and grounded. We should have that capacity to be always in the present world. We should be in the present situation, what we have to do. Then we should be aware of the surroundings, are aware of the situations, and we should be grounded, means we should not have the we should not fly, or we should not be egoistic also. We should be grounded. We should, with humanity ground, we should also be involved there. Then is the next pillar we are saying, it is consciousness. Now why consciousness is important? Because the deeper awareness of self and reality. Because first thing is, we should know about self. If we are not able to know about ourselves, then we will be facing lot of difficulty. That is the main reason of issues, mental health, the individuals or the person or the society, the people are facing, because we are not seeing ourselves first. We are seeing to the other person. But the first thing is, we should be so much conscious, and we should be aware of our self reality and self awareness, and then we should work on it. So we can say here, the inner journey main is to recognize our internal landscape as the indispensable starting point for all growth. Because if we have to grow, if we have to change the society, we should do first. Because as it has been also said, that if we have to change the society, first we should start from our home. हमें अपने घर से शुरुआत करनी चाहिए अगर हम सोसाइटी में कुछ बदलाव लाना चाहते हैं. So that is the main thing. Now we'll be coming to next slide, please. So in the next slide, we'll be discussing about as we have discussed about the individual well-being as situational. So these are the different areas. Yes, now it is visible. Thank you. So these are the different areas which are, when we are talk of the individual well-being, these are the areas which the individual has to focus, because each individual has to focus is. So when we talk of the physical world, we'll say that it is physical world. Physical world means we'll be having about the body and health and vitality. We should be able to know that where it is our physical, because physical health is very important. So we have to focus on the physical health also. Then we are coming next to emotional. Now emotional health, it is very important. Why it is very important, emotional health? Because emotionally, if we are not strong emotionally, if we are not able to cope up, then we'll be facing issues. As we should have to able to regulate our feelings. We should be able to regulate our feelings. Then next is and balance between our emotions. We should have emotions between, because the balance between the emotions, where we have to show our emotions, which way we have to react, what way we have to show our emotions and regulate our feelings. Then it is digital. Why we are saying it is digital? Because in digital, when we say digital, means the technology relationship between the, because nowadays, why I have written AI impact, because nowadays AI is playing a very important role in each and every area, not only in medical area, but each and every area. AI is playing a very important role. So in that, we should also see for the well-being, because we should take the help of these technology also. They are also today also we are taking the help of technology just now. So that are also helping in the well-being. Then we have social. Now in the social area, that is very important, because relationships nowadays, they are having a very major role they are playing. Is we are seeing they are broken families. Then the relationship are affecting a lot on the mental health of the individual. So relationship and in the community, because we are living in a society, we are a social being. We are not living in isolation. So in a society, in a community, that is plays a very important role. Then the spiritual, because as we are talking about the mindfulness and then other, so spiritual area is also playing, spirituality plays a very important role. Because though in from olden times, if we see our ancient Indian culture, then also we believe in religion, we believe in spirituality. So it is, what is the meaning, how it is affecting us, the spirituality. Then occupational, because nowadays each and every person is in one or the other career. So their occupation also plays very very important role. How? That there should be work satisfaction, there should be purpose why we have joined that particular occupation, and we should be satisfied. There should be the life satisfaction. In when we say of life satisfaction, occupations plays a very important role. So we should have work satisfaction, job satisfaction, then the environment of the occupation. So they all play a very important role. Now here I want to discuss, when we are talking about the individual well-being and the different areas, I want to discuss about the PERMA model. Now all are aware about the PERMA model, and this was developed by Martin Seligman. And in the PERMA model, as Martin Seligman has said, when we talk of PERMA means positive. P means positive emotions. Positive, then we have positive emotions, then we have engagement, then we have relationship, then we have meaning, and then achievement. These all play very important role whenever we talk of mindfulness or the mental well-being. But well-being also include the physical vitality, emotional balance, social connections, occupational purpose, then spiritual meaning. So that's why, and even digital well-being is also very important in nowadays. So that's why we say that we can say it is a wheel. It is a wheel. That's why I put a wheel here. So it's a way of a wheel. So if any of the spoke of the wheel breaks, for example, we say health declines or relationship weakens, then the whole wheel will wobble. It will The balance will not be there. So the true meaning of individual well-being is balance. We have to maintain balance in all these areas. Then only our mental health and our well-being will be good, and we'll be able to face the challenges. Now we'll be coming to the next slide. In the next slide, we'll be discussing about the self-realization, because we have talked about the consciousness, we have talked about the journey about the individual well-being. So when we have talked the key pillars, in the key pillars we have taken consciousness. In the consciousness we have discussed about the self-realization, know about the self. So when we say about the self, so it is self-realization. Now what do we mean by self-realization? Self-realization means the journey of full potential. We have to see our potential, our needs, everything has to be there. So whenever we are seeing it, the we can also say it's a deeper journey, because we are seeing about ourselves. So first is, when we talk of the self realization, we say at the heart, this is a timeless quest for self realization, because ये कभी खत्म नहीं होगा. जब तक we are alive, we'll be seeing about it, the changes will be there. So Maslow has also said about this self actualization has given. So when we say self-actualization, fulfill talents and potentialities. So when we are saying self-actualization, we are trying to fulfill our talents, our potentialities, whatever we have, we should utilize them the best. And if we talk of the Indian psychology, Indian ancient psychology here, they talk of manas, then buddhi, and then ahankar, or we can say mind, intellect, and ego. So they all move together when we talk of the consciousness. When they are all moving toward it, higher consciousness. That is very important. So when we say self-realization, self-realization does not mean just living for survival, but it is necessary that we should focus for living with the authenticity and the purpose. There should be purpose of our life, and becoming who you are meant to be, why we are here, what role we have to play, what we should do, how we should contribute larger than yourselves, not reserved to self only, for the self and for the society also. Now when we are coming to next is esteem. We have esteem needs also. The needs are how we are going to recognition. We have recognition, achievement, that we should be recognized by the society, all should praise us. What achievement we want to do, these are our needs also, they should also be satisfied. Then we come love and belonging. Again relationship comes here, relationship and community. That is very important. Every individual requires, even small kids expect from their parents expect from their kids, even the husband and wife, they expect from each other, even the sibling, they expect from each other. So this is a very important part of our journey. love and belongingness. Then safety need is also important, that security and stability. We should have the security and the stability for future also. Then our 90% of stress will be less when we have a safety also, we have a security and a stability in our life. Otherwise we'll be struggling for stability. Then physiological needs, the basic survival needs should be satisfied, we should try to satisfy them. So here when we talk of meaning and purpose will means that beyond basic needs, not only the basic needs but the beyond basic needs, for living for authenticity and contributing to something greater than self. Then when we talk of ancient wisdom, because here we are talking about the holistic view. So when we are talking about the ancient wisdom in regard to the self-realization, Vedic psychology offers profound insight into consciousness and fulfillment. When we talk of, we have lot many techniques through which we can realize self and we can know about self. So that is also important. Now next we'll begin. Next slide, please. So next we'll be coming to when we are coming to the next slide, we are saying they are core pillars of internal growth. Now there are some of the core pillars which are considered to be very important for the mental health, for the well-being. So these are the emotional regulations, then resilience and mindfulness that we have discussed before also. So why they are being said as the core pillars? Because when we say about the emotional regulation, or we can say another word, emotional intelligence. So when we say about emotional intelligence, we say emotional intelligence means that we are understanding, we are regulating, and we are expressing the emotional constructively. The emotions which we are able to understand the emotions, then we are able to regulate those emotions. That is more important. Regulation of the emotions are important. Then expressing of the emotions, how we can express the emotions constructively in a better way. Then think of for example, we can give an example here, that we think of a leader who can stay calm in crisis and inspire hope. That is emotional intelligence at work. For example, there is some crisis and the leader, who is the leader of that team, if that leader has an emotional intelligence, has an emotional regulation, that the leader will be calm in that situation, and he will think and he will guide his team how to face that crisis, instead of himself or herself going in panic. And then when the leader will be in panic, then the team will also be in a panic. So that way we will not be able to face the situation, we will not able to face the crisis. Another important core pillar is building resilience. Why it is? Resilience means to capacity to adapt well to the adversity and the stress. So now in the, if we are building resilience, then we'll be able to grow stronger through the adversity, whatever crisis we are facing, what are the uh, situation we are facing of adversity. Now we can here, best example we can give here is during COVID-19 pandemic. So in that time we have seen the resilience in the area of healthcare, in the healthcare workers, then the teachers, then the other people, finding new ways to connect and support one another. So that was a best example, that how we have all have built the resilience and how were able to cope that situation. If we give a thought to it, that time we see how what situation was there, and now we have come through that situation. Even not the metro cities, even in the rural areas, each and everyone was able to cope up, and we have come through that situation, in comparison to if we see the condition in the other parts of the world. So then next is mindfulness. Now mindfulness is a practice of living in the present, as we have discussed. Now researchers also show that mindfulness changes the brain structure, then it strengthens the area which are linked to focus. Means the areas which should be are focused, they are more strengthened through mindfulness, and we reduce the link to stress. Thus the conditions or the areas which are providing stress, we try to reduce those areas through mindfulness. So here we can also say then there is expanding horizon. Now we can say that neuroscience to consciousness. Now we are exploring about the biological experiences or the subconscious subjective experiences and how mindfulness impacts the brain structure. Now we'll be coming to the next slide, please. So in the next slide, we'll be discussing about the Vedic psychology, meditation, and altered state. How these are also playing very important role in this. So when we talk of Vedic psychology, it is ancient wisdom, we can say altered states, or meditation practices, or inner growth. Now when we talk of ancient wisdom, when we talk of ancient wisdom, now ancient wisdom means the Vedic traditions which provide us about the framework for understanding the mind, the consciousness, and the well-being. Now when we talk of ancient Indian psychology, it also tells us about the components of inner self. Then again, it is the mind, the intellect, and the ego, or we can say manas, buddhi, and ahankar. All of which these all are playing, are moving toward the uh, higher area. So these things are very important to understand the mind, consciousness, and well-being. Then we are coming to the meditation practices. Now when we talk of the meditation practices, now these are the techniques for inner peace, for clarity, and for deeper consciousness. We are using it. So when we say these are the or we can say that we are in a way nowadays people more understand by doing by yoga or by meditation. So when we talk of meditation, so practices like the dharana or dhyan, these are the more practices which has been used. When we say dharana, it is more concentration. Then we say dhyan, it is related to meditation. And these are the deep concentration. When we are in a deep concentration, then these techniques are used when we are in deep concentration. And here we are focusing about the particular we are deep in a deeper side of deeper insight of meditation when we talk of dhyana. So modern science nowadays, they validates these practices. Why? Because they say they show that they are calmness in the through these calmness come in the nervous system. Then they sharpen our attentions, and they open pathways to creativity and compassion. That's why meditation practices are considered, they are giving more importance nowadays, and the researchers have also shown it. Then when we are coming to the altered states, now what do we mean by altered state? Altered states are the practices which are the practices which are expanding our perception for healing and insight. These refers to the state of consciousness beyond the ordinary. Means we are going beyond, we are going away, which are offering us the profound healing and new insights. Through altered states, we are reaching to the healing process and also to the new insights. Our insights, our creativity, those increases through altered state. Now next we are also focusing about the inner growth. When what do we mean by inner growth? Inner growth means the internal transformation, because using these all techniques we are coming to the internal growth. Now next is expanding horizon to the external influences. Now we are coming to the till now we are discussing about the internal. Now we'll be discussing about the external factors. Now when we talk of external factors, they are eco psychology or connection to the nature. Nature also plays very important role. So here ecology of mind, what do we mean by ecology of mind? The human mental health deeply intertwined with planet's earth. Means human being is deeply tied of the well-being of our planet. So in time of nature, the nature reduces stress, improves focus, heals us emotionally. But today we are focusing the other areas also, because nowadays we are focusing climate challenges also. So that's why when we talk of climate anxiety, what do we mean by climate anxiety? They are fear about ecological collapses. Now we are seeing in the area in Dehradun, in other areas, we have seen how the damages has been there. So healing means not just reconnecting with the nature individually, but working collectively for the sustainability. We should also focus it, because this also plays very important role. So when we say ecological mental health, it means integrating environmental actions and awareness into well-being strategies. So both this external and internal, both factors play very important role. Now we'll be coming to the next slide. Now, in the next slide, we'll be discussing about about the digital well-being and the AI impact, because now we have discussed nowadays digital transformation is a lot. So digital age dilemma is there. So we have to make a balance between the balancing the technology benefits with the mental health challenges. That is, addiction is more than comparison culture has now come. Then information overload, because due to digital, lot of information is there. So that's why we are facing lot of stress also. So because this is the key is the conscious technology use. The technology which we are using, we should use consciously. We should set our boundaries. We should use the digital tools which we are using. We use mindfully, means which are required, that we should see. And we should also ensure that AI which we are using nowadays serves humanity, not the other way around. It should be used in a positive way. Then we are also saying the conscious technology, we have done it. Now when we say about the global challenge, now due to digital improvement, or due to digital techniques which we are using, so global crisis has come. So for that we'll be discussing in the next slide. Please, next slide. So when we are discussing about the next slide, please. So we'll be discussing about the mental health in global crisis. Now the previous slide, please. Global crisis and the previous slide, yeah. Mental health in the global crisis and the changing times. Now how this global crisis has played a very important role in affecting our mental health, and the time which has been changed. How it is playing? First is we have conflict, displacement, and collective trauma. Why it is? Because due to mental health, we should have the humanitarian crisis is there. War is there, migration, people are shifting from one place to another due to career, due to other reasons. So now they have to be more to face this challenge through their building more resilience, more adaptability, more cultural change. So more conflict are coming due to this global crisis and the changing of the time. Now another thing is access to mental health care in emergencies. So how we can do the mental health care in the emergencies. That is, we should have such robust framework that we should be able to immediately have the rapid services are available, where we are able to give the mental health services, mental health care. Either we can say we should have culturally, we should make the people sensitive in the support of time, or the people should have, the family members should also be aware of, the society should also be aware of at the time of the crisis what we should do. Even we can also say that the youth and future generation, nowadays as we are focusing about the future generation, so we can also say that we should see the challenges which future generation is facing. Nowadays the young generation is facing. So we should see that they have a feeling of uncertainty, they have a feeling of stress, that feeling of stability, feeling of insecurity. So these are also playing very role in the mental health. So these are also global crisis, because the young generation, they are running in a area of competition. There are a lot of competition, and in each area they have to face that competition, that pressure. So that global crisis also playing a role in the effect of mental health. Then workplace economy and sustainable well-being. Now nowadays in workplace also a lot of competition, so it is also playing a very important role in mental health. So the professional settings should be such that they should help the well-being, the mental health of the professionals, of the working professionals. Then we should have such economic system should be designed that should be also help not to reduce the mental health, but to increase the mental health in a positive side. And that support should be there for each and every area. Now we'll be coming to the next slide. Now next slide is pathways, because we have discussed individual external factors, core the pillars. Now what are the pathways, how we can heal, how we can progress, how we should help, what healing methods we can use to improve our mental health. So whenever we say about the healing area, about the mental health. So we say about that the integrative and holistic healing system should be there. We cannot say that only one area will be there, but the whole, all the areas which we have discussed, internal, external, then nowadays the digital technologies, then ancient time our techniques, each have to play our important role, each has to be taken. So what are the healing methods we can take, techniques we can take, that is beyond conventional. That what do we mean by beyond conventional? That we should see the benefit of the not single approach, but the more than one approach to the mental health. Then next is Ayurveda and mental health. Again, we have talking about our ancient Indian system, which are offering the mind body balance. That is, we are focusing about the dosha, then sattva, rajas, and tamas. These areas, these also play very important role. So we should focus about the mind body balance. That is very important. If we have mind and body balance, then we'll be able to help in the area of mental health. Individual can improve his or her mental health better. Then another is alternative therapies are also. Now, what are alternative therapies? That acupressure, then art therapy, then music therapy, then role therapy. Now, these therapies are also very important. They play a very important role, and lot of researches are being done in art therapy, then music therapy, then dance therapy. These therapies are nowadays playing very important role in the treatment of mental health, in the treatment of disorders, mental disorders. Many researches are being done. Even my scholars are also doing research in these areas. Then another is relevance of yoga. Now, as we have talked of mindfulness and dhyana, these are also playing very important role. That yoga, how yoga, what yoga can be done, what are the postures, the breathing techniques, then meditation that contribute a lot to the physical, then mental, and the spiritual well-being. They are also playing very important role. Then we have also indigenous healing system. Now, what do we mean by indigenous healing system? That we are respecting and learning from the traditional system, then cultural specific healing practices. What are the healing practices according to our culture, according to our area? What are the healing practices are there? That also we should do it. Now next we are coming to the policies, partnership, and cultural perspective, because when we are making policy, then we require, then each and every individual, the society is playing very important role. So policy has to be made from the not only individually if we are doing, but government has also to play the role. So when government has to play the role, then some policies has to be made, policies has to be reframed. So when we say the mental health, when the mental health is advancing, then we should require a multifaceted approach, not only a single approach. So not only we should not only focus on the individual treatment, but we should also focus about the global collaboration. What are the global collaboration, how we can do it? So when we are talking about the policy framework, now when we say policy framework means we should have such universal mental health policies, that how we can access the mental health issues, and how these issues can be dealt into all public health policies. So it is not country wide, not individual or upon that, but it should be global. Globally it should be discussed, globally the policy should be made, and these policies should be implemented. Then another thing is global partnership. Now when we talk of global partnership is very important. Why? Because nowadays we are seeing whole globe has come to our home. It takes seconds to reach everywhere. So that's why global partnership is very important. So we should have a collaborative efforts, and we should also do the that whatever we are doing, it should be accessible to all, and the research should be done worldwide, not only a particular limited to a particular country, but worldwide. Then another is cross cultural care. Now when we say cross cultural care, because now cultural limitations are not there, so we should recognize how the healing is different in different cultures and respect that diversity. According to that culture, we should also add on the policies, add on the ways how we can deal it. Then next is equality. equity and inclusivity. Now, when we say equity and inclusivity means we ensure that mental health care reaches to each and every area, each and every person of the society, even to old age, even to women, even to marginalized group, even to underserved communities. Each and every person should be, they all should be inclusive. We should not only work for a particular society, particular part of the society, particular people of the society, but it should be for all. That's why we are saying about equity and inclusivity. Now next we'll be coming to last to the conclusion. When we are coming to the conclusion, how we can, next slide please. Now conclusion towards a flourishing future, because how we can flourish to the future, how we can make a good future towards a future. So first thing is synthesis. Now when we talk of the synthesis, we say mental health, individual well-being and self-realization cannot be isolated. These are not isolated, but it's a continuous and integrated journey. Together we can work for it. Then our collective responsibility, as we have all, even the environment, even the internal growth, the healing, the realization of human potential, all this is all the collective responsibility, not only of the one particular person or the particular society, a part of the society. Now when we are looking ahead means we should see in future how the knowledge system should be diverse, how we can add all the areas, as we have discussed in the session, from neuroscience to ancient wisdom, so that we can build the resilient individuals and the communities, and the individual well-being should be improved. Now what action we should take? What the action should be that we should prioritize our well-being. Till now well-being was not considered much important, but nowadays the focus has been there and people are understanding the importance. So we should prioritize the well-being. We should try to take we should seek the understanding. We should contribute to the world. Even we should not hesitate to take help from anyone if we are feeling ourselves that our well-being is being affected, our mental health being is affected. So suggestion we can say, we should work for the uplifting the image of many hands joining together and reaching to a common goal. We have a common goal to it. Now next is we are coming, next slide please. So next slide please. So now, so we can say, so because together we should work for the resilient and the so when we are talking about, we in the end we can say we should look ahead to embrace the wisdom of many traditions, from neuroscience to Vedic psychology, from indigenous healing to modern policy. And also because together they show a way to build a more resilient, compassionate and flourishing humanity. So that we in the end we can say we should prioritize our well-being, we should cultivate awareness, we should contribute in whatever way we can to the world where flourishing is a norm, not the exception. It's a norm but not exception. So I would end with a thought that in a world of constant change, because we are daily, in a minutes their changes are there, true strength lies in knowing yourself, nurturing your well-being, and embracing the journey to mental clarity and purpose. So with this I end my session. Thank you all for the patience listening.